राय बच्चन ने लिखा था, वृक्ष हो भले खड़े, हो घने हो बड़े, एक पत्र छांव भी मांग मत मांग मत मांग मत, अग्निपथ अग्निपथ अग्निपथ। स्टार्टअप्स या फाउंडर्स या उनकी जर्नी, when we essentially try to map all of this put together, शायद वो सब कुल मिला करके कहीं ना कहीं अग्निपथ से जुड़ते हैं। इंडिया और भारत, as we know it, has thousands and thousands and thousands of entrepreneurs across the length and breadth of our country. You will find them in a small town, Pondicherry, you will find them in Sikkim, you will find them in Delhi, and you will find them across the length and breadth of this country. Entrepreneurs on their own undergo a huge change in their journey as they undertake it, from the point of starting it with the small money they get from friends and family, to the time they go out in market to raise capital from angels, from there to when they go to venture investors and raise money. But all of these journeys have different outcomes. We at the Fintech Yatra annually undertake this ode. हम कोशिश ये करते हैं कि जैसे शंकराचार्य ने आज से हजारों साल पहले उत्तर से दक्षिण को जोड़ा था, उसी तरीके से we try that by undertaking this annual road journey of 11,000 kilometers, wherein we cover 19 cities, go to 27 odd states, meet up with 400 plus fintech entrepreneurs every single year, we essentially try to understand what is the journey they undergo. This small piece from our side is an ode to that journey, which starts with an idea but can have 5 different outcomes. The outcomes are, you start with an idea and then you get acquired. You start with an idea and for reasons unknown, despite of all the pain, pressure, effort, whatever you put, you still don't make it. An outcome wherein you go for an IPO, you get listed, there is a bazooka, everyone in the newspaper is talking about you. There is an outcome of becoming a unicorn, and then there is an outcome of remaining bootstrapped for decades and decades and decades. But as they say, मजा जो है साहब वो यात्रा का है। यात्रा का मजा है, जो होता है उस यात्रा के बीच में उसका मजा है। अंत अलग अलग हो सकते हैं, लेकिन शुरुआत जो है वो हमेशा वही रहती है जिसमें एक कोई कीड़ा कुलबुलाता है हमारे दिमाग में और वो हमको लेकर के जाता है अलग अलग संभावनाओं पे। ये छोटी सी हमारी कोशिश है उन 5 संभावनाओं को तलाशने की जो एक छोटे से आइडिया से शुरू होती हैं और 5 अलग अलग आउटकम्स पे जाती हैं। हमारी पहली कहानी है 2 एंटरप्रेन्योर्स की जिन्होंने चेन्नई से शुरू करी अपनी कहानी विजी नाम की स्टार्टअप से।
Wizi basically started as an idea where we tried to help the customers or credit card users, because we had a strong feeling that people were not using their credit cards to the fullest. Basically, they're not leveraging their credit cards in a way it should ideally be. So that was the genesis of the idea of Wizi. So once when we started, building Wizi, one thing that I always had in mind was, as a founder, my core job was to get people on board who are better than me, from a functional perspective, from a people perspective, and who can actually really buy into that vision. And we always had eye for those people who had the ideas to buy the vision, of what we are building. And meeting up with Abhi was one such exercise, because he was very focused on building a great marketing thing around his career, and he was always focused on that one thing where he wanted to excel in that particular function.
I never used cards in my life. I didn't understand the industry only. I didn't understand most of the things that he told me, but I knew that something was there. Okay, so let's see. For me, the other piece was, we need to build a B2C brand or something that is what is going in my mind. And was this a big problem to go behind? I wasn't sure of. So then I had to do my own homework to understand that, hey, is this something that is there out there? And everything.
In fact, even the handshake with M2P helped us to change that cover from basically operating in a lower scale to a higher scale. So that all synergy was happening, and then we also made few joint pitches to banks. So at that point in time, because he said banks may not listen to you, as M2P I can bring them to the table, please come listen to me. for nothing, so absolutely nothing with respect to just as a help to the other co-founder, M2P extended us that help. We went to HDFC, ICICI again with a different cloud, and we understood that with M2P we have different kind of equation that's working in the room, and we are more open to understand because of the earlier premise, right? The scale, attack scale. So that's why Madhu said at some point in time, boss, anyways you need capital, and I've raised capital. So why don't we blend these two events so that you can actually build within M2P, Wizi within M2P, and because of the collateral things that's happening around credit card, areas that we are building, he also found a lot of areas because they are also very close to cards, right? Yes. So I like that idea. So we didn't discuss numbers. In fact, the complete numbers for the transaction was closed in less than 5 minutes. So it was no negotiation kind of a discussion. I had a number in mind, it came from Madhu, we closed. That's it. So we said this acquisition happened because of two reasons, right? One is Wizi wanted to be something, and that something can happen quickly with by acquiring the M2P. And second thing is, Abhi always used to say, if Wizi had grown organically, right, like how M2P is today, that's how Wizi would have been. So that's a best place to be in, right? Mm-hmm. So that way we were actually seeing the culture sinking silently after a couple of weeks. And then now it's it's completely set. This I think we don't see this as an acquisition. In fact, Madhu, whenever he speaks, he will always ensure that he doesn't use the word acquisition. He'll always say we are building a platform where multiple companies can be nurtured.
We are all living in a future created by someone. Okay, say for example today someone writes the rules. You are living in someone's future. It could be an institution, it could be people, it could be anything. Then you should really go about writing your own future. I mean, if this is what you want to build, today we have the power to write your own future. Okay, you could accept the reality, you could not accept the reality, you can have your own reality. That is one point that you hit, right? So which means that you have the power to create your own reality and believe in it and then go ahead and make it.
All the startups which are starting up is going to be really massive, but I'm sure all the startups learning curve was really steep and massive. That learning is all that matters, right? Maybe if not for this idea, maybe the next idea could be $1 billion idea. And for an entrepreneur, it's not about $1 billion idea, right? It's about how you are able to see few things ahead of